If you're watching this, you probably don't have a way to get to the gym and you're looking to add inches of muscle onto your shoulders. Don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to add inches of muscle onto my shoulders without having a gym membership, and I was even broke at the time. This was me before when I had smaller shoulders. My chest proportions did not match my shoulders and I did appear more on the scrawny side. This is my current shoulder size. People have noticed my gains more and I have genuinely received more compliments and questions about my workout routines. I have also developed a V shape which emphasizes your upper body proportions and gives you aesthetics. It did take a lot of work, and I'm going to show you the exercises that I use in order to get bigger shoulders. To start off, we have the Pike Pushup. It is a great exercise for using your own body weight and allows you to add more weight specifically onto your shoulders. Start on the ground on all fours, extend your legs out and try your best to keep your legs as straight as possible. Get onto your tippy toes and walk forward just slightly. Bend your arms and let your nose tap the ground and you have a Pike Pushup. To make it easier, add some books under your hands, or you can use a flat elevated surface. And if you want to make the Pike Pushup more difficult, you can add incline under your legs to add even more weight onto your shoulders. I highly recommend that you do 3 sets until failure for the fastest results. If you feel pain in your hamstrings, that means you might need to stretch more, which I like to do toe touches standing and seated. And this other stretch where you hold your ankles and try to straighten your legs as straight as possible. The next great exercise you can do is Pseudo Planche Pushup. For this exercise, you want to get into a push-up position and turn your hands outwards 45 degrees so you don't hurt your wrists. Lean forward as much as you can and perform a push-up. You want to protract your scapula. To protract your scapula, you have to hold your hands right in front of you, straight like this, and push forward as much as you can, and you will feel your shoulder blades move away from each other. When you're doing your reps, you don't want to go forward and backwards. You want to go down in a straight line, and if you struggle with this, you can use a wall in front of your head and try your best to lower your body in a straight line. You will absolutely demolish your shoulders with this exercise. The easier version of the Pseudo Planche Pushup is to perform it on your knees, and take this exercise with caution because it is not an easy exercise to do. A third exercise is one of the more advanced exercises, but anyone can do it, and there are progressions that you can do, and I will start with the easy progressions building up to the harder progressions. The exercise is called the tuck planche, and this exercise requires an exponential amount of upper body strength, putting a heavy load onto your shoulders, and it will shred your delts. The first progression is planche leans, and if this is too difficult, start on your knees and work your way up. You want to get into a push-up position, turn your hands outward with your thumbs facing forward. You want to point your toes into the ground and start leaning forward. Make sure to engage your scapula, and I will say once you can hold this lean for 30 seconds, you can move on to the next progression, which is transitioning into the tuck planche. Once you get more comfortable with this planche lean, you can start dragging your feet inward while holding the planche lean at the same time. Focus on trying to reduce the force from your legs, lifting them up, and eventually you will have your tuck planche. If you're still struggling with the tuck planche, you can kind of do this little tuck planche push-up and just keep repeating it over and over again until you can hold it for longer periods of time, and you will improve. If you want to progress even further with the planche, I will be releasing a video soon on my journey on achieving the full planche. But anyways, these 3 exercises alone can take you extremely far with getting stronger shoulders and adding muscle. However, if you want more of a bulkier build, then you can incorporate these next 4 exercises as well. If you don't have dumbbells, don't worry. All you need is a bag and some weight. Maybe books or water jugs, whatever you can find, just be creative. Your shoulders are made of 3 heads, the front, middle, and rear delt. To target the front delt, you can do an exercise called the front raise, which I preferably like to do both dumbbells at the same time to prevent muscle imbalances, but many other people prefer to do one at the same time, which is also fine. You want to find a weight that is not too heavy but not too light, because they do appear easier than they actually are. Just lift the weight in front of you with no momentum, and I would say anywhere from 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps is a good target range.
For your side delts, you can perform lateral raises. For lateral raises, you can also use dumbbells and actually find a slightly heavier weight for this exercise. Lift your arms out in a controlled manner with no momentum.
Lift your arms out with bent elbows to reduce the tension on your elbow joints. And if you want, some people like to do lateral raises with a lean to isolate the tension to one delt. But I recommend to always keep track of your reps so you can do the same with the other arm to prevent muscle imbalances. Again, 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps is an ideal target range. For the anterior delt, you can do reverse flies.
For this exercise, you can slightly bend your knees and bend over just slightly above 180 degrees. You want to hold the dumbbells at a 45 degrees for maximum work on your anterior delts. Move your arms outwards in a controlled manner and you will get the best result if you do slow and controlled.
8 to 12 reps for 3 sets is a good volume.
Another great exercise for your anterior delts are straight arm kickbacks. You can either do standing or on a bench. For standing, you need your knees slightly bent and your back slightly bent, but for the bench,
you need to rest a knee and one hand leaning on that side and just kick back your other arm. I don't have a bench, so I use a cushion. Maybe you have a bench or something else you can use.
For this exercise, I do one arm at a time and I focus on tension and isolation. Push your arms back in a controlled motion and 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps will be good.
I'm sure you can find this video useful, so drop a like and hit that sub if you want to make some big juicy shoulder gains.